So I decided to test out something new with my lighting situation. I actually got my natural lighting peeping in from my beautiful window. Let's hope that this goes out well and that the coloring is well. Y'all know before we start the makeup, I always gotta come on here looking like a certified grandma with my bonnet on. Comment down below if you bonnet game all day, like all day long, bonnet, scarf, whatever. I'm in my house. But I thought it was so funny. I got this kimono. Is that how you say it? Kimono? Kimoko? Kimiko? Kaka? I don't know. I got this from Forever 21 and I was like, oh my gosh, I see girls wearing this all the time. Really cute, gonna look super fun on me. Girl, I put this shit on and I feel like I look like somebody's 35-year-old housewife just swarming around my house. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to, I can stand up and show y'all so much because y'all know I ain't got no bottoms on. That's most YouTubers' confession. We don't wear bottoms. But I just got on this black tank top and then I put this on and I thought it was gonna give me so much life, but it's giving me good night, bedroom art, bridesmaid. You know, bridesmaid, when you be coming to get your makeup done and you just throw on one of these robes, that's what it's giving me. It ain't giving me no type of life and like what I thought it was. But we ain't come here to talk about this kimono that I got from Forever 21. What we came here to talk about was L'Oreal. And first of all, thank you so much, L'Oreal, for sending me these things. I want to say that this video is not sponsored. What that means is L'Oreal did not pay me to do this video. I'm not making any money behind this video. They did send me these products for my consideration, for me to obviously, you know, record with and show y'all, but they're not paying me for my opinions. So what I'm doing is a one brand tutorial. They pretty much sent me everything I need to do a whole face. So I was like, why don't I do a one brand tutorial again? Kind of like my Profusion one. If you didn't watch that one, you definitely should check it out right up here. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started. So let's just start off with what they sent me for the brows. They sent me their Brow Stylist Shape and Feel triangular tip pencils. They sent me a dark brunette and they also sent a brunette. Brows, I just quickly went under and I cleaned them up. So do not mind. I cut myself under this one, which normally never happens, but what I'm noticing off rip, one thing I noticed with a lot of drugstore pencils, I have to press way harder than what I normally would. So when I am using more higher end, I would say brow pencils, with the exception of ColourPop. ColourPop is one that's inexpensive, but it glides on. But I notice I just have to press it a little bit harder. So it's not to say that it's not good as far as staying powder and color, but you will have to press it a little bit harder. So now I'm going to take the Brow Stylist that I showed you all earlier, and it's actually not what I thought. So the spoolie is way smaller than what I was thinking of, and I think it's best for just when you want to add in little strokes. So instead of pushing down that pencil a little bit too hard, I'm going to go in with this. You have to clean this up. It's very, very wet and moist, so be careful. But it seems like it would like set that brow color in. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this brow up before I draw on my other brow. This little rotation and it has a sponge. What I didn't like about this sponge was I was sitting here cranking, like, why isn't the product coming out? You have to actually take that sponge up against your hand like so. You see what I'm saying? Take it up against your hand like so and like rub the product off that way. So just a small thing. I was expecting it to kind of, you know, the product to kind of overflow and just get on my hand, but it doesn't work out that way. So I'm going to use this concealer instead. 7.8, and they actually sent it in 3 different versions. So they send a warm, a cool, and a golden, which I think is amazing that more drugstore brands are focusing and noting that women of color have undertone. We're all different. We're not all red. Me being like one of the biggest advocates for concealers and foundations that's not red, because I have not an ounce of red in me. I'm just yellow. Nice smudger brush instead. This is my next favorite behind the e.l.f. brush. So I am noticing that this formula dries really quick. Like I literally didn't even take a 30-second pause and the formula is already drying down and locking in place. That can be a good thing and sometimes a con for some people. If they're not privy to moving really fast, they will say that, you know, it's a con. They need a little bit more time to get it blended before it locks in place with the lines and everything. For me, it's more of a pro because I just think about the longevity. If it dries down that quick, more than likely it's going to stay kind of locked down like this all day. How about I had to seriously go back and redo this brow? Do y'all ever do that? Like my brows are not, they are not set in stone. My brows are temporary. If I do this one first and this one comes out looking better, I always got to redo this one. Is it just me? So since I said that the True Match concealer like dries really quick, I'm actually going to use that as my eyeshadow base. That's a good property when you want to use a concealer. And it just means it's going to generally set my eyelid really good, have no creasing going on, all of that. But as you can see, I have to move extremely fast. I'm just going to go ahead and blend that down as well. Okay, so now that my lids are all set, we can go into the fun part, the eyeshadow. So they sent me 3 different things. I have the LA palette in nude, and these are the shades for that. Hopefully the camera can focus. Yeah, there we go. Really pretty nude palette. You can do a lot of different things with this. Switch it up from day to night. They also sent the Color Rich Pocket Palettes, and I have them in Silver Couture and also Hot Hazel, and these are what these two look like. So I'm going to start off with the shade, and they have them listed on the back of the palette by numbers. So I'm going to start off with the shade, how does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shade number 5. And it is just a beautiful warm brown color. I'm gonna when you're dealing with drugstore brands. And I'm taking a big fluffy brush and I'm just basically fanning the color in, making it nice and soft. So now I'm going to take the shade number 3, and this is number 3, and this one is a slight metallic right here. Like it has a little bit of shimmer in it, but not too much. I think it's going to be good for my outer V because I know whatever I'm going to do, I always like it a little smoky. To me, that looks best on my eyes personally. So I haven't done any silver looking eyes in a while, and I love how this silver just swatched. This one is shade number 1 in the Silver Couture palette. I think I'm going to need to wet it. I'm going to place that down right on the lid. Pigment, like as you can see, this is the shadow. We didn't do a cut crease that's making it, so that's not making it pop. We didn't wet it, so that's not making it pop. This is literally just the shadow. So now that I have that silver popping on the lids really good, I'm going to go back into the number 6 brown shade that I put on as my initial base. I'm going to start blending it in. So blending everything all together. This part, really take your time on your blending. So unfortunately, I didn't get a liquid liner from L'Oreal, so I'm going to use another liquid liner off camera and come back and we can start working on the face. So L'Oreal sent me this beautiful shade of orange, and I just, okay, no, just playing, y'all. I didn't get a corrector from L'Oreal, so I had to use my own corrector as well. So that's what you see on my face. Like a lot of African-American women, I do suffer from hyperpigmentation around the mouth area, so I absolutely cannot skip these eyes. These eyes are just giving me, oh, you know, glam girl. Y'all, since I turned 24, I want my makeup to be less and less effortless, especially my eye makeup. I just want that, I don't know, that runway New York City girl type look, like just sexy. And I love these eyes. So I'm going to use a shade Cocoa, which is the C8, and in addition to using that, I'm also going to use the Lumi Glow Amour drops, and they come like this. I'm using my beauty blender obviously to pat it in and just give me that nice airbrush feeling. The coverage is light. I would say it's on the lighter side. I am definitely going to go in with a second layer. So now that my foundation is all on, I'm going to go right into my concealer. I'm using the Infallible Pro Glow in the shade C7. No, not C7, just 07. It's also called Cream Cafe. And I'm going to highlight under my eyes. I was definitely looking at these a few times in the drugstores, but I wasn't sure because just, you know, first of all, drugstore does not mean cheap. This retails for like $12. I might be wrong. It might be $8 or so. Between $8 and $12, I know that it retails for. So I was like, I don't know. I haven't heard too much about it, and yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to invest, but it's super creamy. I'm loving that so far. It doesn't seem to be as drying as the True Blend concealer, the one I use for my brows and my primer, my eyeshadow primer. It doesn't seem to be that drying, so it actually seems like it's a lot more hydrating, which I like that. Yeah, it's not locking in place, so it's definitely setting, like you can see it setting, but it's not locking in place, if that makes sense. So this is where things can get fun and pretty interesting. I'm going to go in with the Infallible Pro Sweep and Lock Translucent Setting Powder. I say all that to say because translucent powders are not cheap at all. In the drugstore, however, they can be a little bit more affordable on the, you know, cost-effective side. However, sometimes we have issues with flashback. So I am going to take it very, 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 very light, and I'm going to wish for the best when we take the picture. This one. Okay, you know what? Let's press it. Let's take it to the limit. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna actually let this sit a little bit. I'm going to really press it in so that when I brush, I don't have to do anything but just one quick swipe. So I think I let that sit on quite long enough. Adding my contour, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Morphe, what is this, R3 brush, one with the gold handle, and I'm going to sweep under my eyes. It is sweeping off effortlessly, so that's a pretty good sign, but only flash. What's up? Okay, so I set my face. Now I'm going to go in with the True Match Lumi Shimmerista highlight. I'm super and oh, oh my god, I just looked in the viewfinder and I was like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now, babe. What is this? Wow. Okay, this, yeah, set the whole freaking look off. This is gorgeous. And it's blending out like a dream. Like, so now that I added this popping highlight, I want to have a little more fun with this look. So instead of using the black Infallible longwear eyeliner, I'm going to use the Cobalt Blue. And I'm just going to smudge it down just below my waterline like so. And I think that it adds a little bit more character, a little bit more fun, and just takes it from a more on the conservative side to I'm fun too. So we're finally in the stage of final touches. So I'm going to go in with this Superstar X Fiber mascara. It has a side 1 and 2. I wonder, is it like 2 different shades, 2 different what? Like what's going on here? Okay, one is a primer and then it's the mascara. I'm going to skip the primer part since I'm putting on falsies anyway, y'all. I always like to kind of go back to my eyes after my face because sometimes putting on the face makeup, it can start to dull out the eyes. So I love to just kind of do the final steps of the eyes at the very end. Like it's the last thing I do before my lip. And I find that it just makes my eye look a little bit more fresh and new. So I went ahead and added my lashes and my wig. wig. Okay, I look less. I take back what I said about my kimono at first. Now it looks like less like I'm a 35-year-old housewife and more like, okay, I'm a fun 24-year-old, which I am. But anywho's, do not mind my eye if it's like getting kind of red over here. There is something in it. But at this point, I'm too invested in this tutorial to be digging in my eye to mess up my makeup. Listen, if I freaking pop a vessel in my eye, pop a vessel in my eye. But this video getting done. From that, we can go right into the lips. And I'm going to go ahead and line my lips really quick. And now that those lips are all lined, I'm going to go in with the Infallible Max. Ooh, and I love this. I thought it was like, because it was like this, I thought it was going to be one of those squeeze tubes. I'm so happy it's not. I love this kind of applicator. This is in shade 342. And y'all know how I do when it comes to blending. I just keep patting, reapplying it until it looks good. It's a little too nudie. I'm actually going to go over top of it with the other one, 350, and this is the shade Cinna-Bomb. A whiny lip, but not too mature of a whiny, because sometimes a whiny lipstick can be so mature looking to me. Which is nothing wrong with my mature ladies. I love y'all. But I like this. I like the speed of this. This is really pretty. It's a look. So that pretty much completes this tutorial. This is the final look. I am really liking it. I can say some of my only downfalls in this collection is the brow products. I wasn't a fan of the True Match concealer as well. The X-Fiber foundation, the X-Fiber mascara. It's really good, but those, you just have to be really careful with those fibers. That's actually what I think I have stuck in my eye right now. So I'd have to thumbs that down as well. But everything else in the collection I am really enjoying. I will let y'all know how the Infallible Lock and Set did in flash test pictures, because that's the only other thing I'm skeptical about. Everything else I'm absolutely loving. Thank you again so much, L'Oreal Paris, for sending me all of these lovely items. I really hope that you all enjoyed this tutorial and get ready with me session. Well, I want not to get ready with me. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial and you will remember to subscribe to my channel. Also, thumbs up this video. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what L'Oreal items are you already using, or what L'Oreal items will you start using after watching this video. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to stay pretty. I'll see you in the next video.